Welcome back to the City Current Show, powered by Higginbotham. I'm your host, Jeremy Park. We're always honored to bring you inspiring stories of individuals and organizations making a difference and powering the good. And we love talking about the power of music. And in this case, we're talking about the simple song of freedom. We're honored to be joined by producer Mario Monterosso. How are you doing?
Good. Thank you, Jeremy. Thanks a lot for having me talking about this project. Hello, everybody.
For anyone who can see you on the screen, you've got a lot of music behind you. And so you yourself heavily involved in the music industry. And let's start there. Give us a little bit of your backstory, because that will lead us into this project. So give us a little bit of your backstory.
Okay. Very shortly, I'm Italian, born and raised in Sicily. So early 80s, there was that huge rock and roll, rockabilly revival, especially in Europe, because of bands as Stray Cats, other bands. And those were the years in which the MTV music videos were pretty, trendy. In Sicily, we had a huge rockabilly scenario. I know that sounds weird. And my sister had a rockabilly boyfriend. I was 10 back then. So for me, seeing this guy with this pompadour, this teddy boy, sunbirds and drape coat. So I got really, hit by that stuff. And the first tape I ever had in my hand was about a British radio show called Radio Memphis, with only Memphis music, mainly rock and roll, rockabilly. So that was my first imprinting for me. And I started to play the guitar, playing that stuff. So after years and years, I'm talking about 8 years ago, actually 9 years ago, I was in Rome because I moved to Rome. I used to be a court clerk. I was at the court for almost 17 years, but I've been playing music since I was 15. I got in touch with the Memphis artist, an old Memphis artist, Tab Falco and the Panther Burns, and I became his producer. I produced these last 7 albums, actually. And after doing the first tour with him here in the United States, when I put my foot in Memphis, Tennessee, I said, this is the place where I want to live at least for a while. And I moved here. I left everything I had. I quit the job at the court. I sold my house. I sent my mom, hey, Mom, I'm moving to Memphis. She remained this way. She was drinking a coffee. Yes, and here I am. I decided to dedicate my life to music. And
I love it. And to do it in Memphis. And so let's go ahead and dive in. Give us a little bit of the backstory, because obviously this was a big song earlier. And so now bringing it a whole new breath of, fresh air and life with times that, have a lot of the same similarities in terms of what was going on then versus what's going on now in the world, and kind of the need for this song. And so talk about the simple song of freedom.
Well, absolutely. Well, actually, I knew Bobby Darin only for the biggest hits, Splish Splash, Beyond the Sea. Bobby Darin is a crooner. But I didn't know that he had that hippie folk phase of life. And I got to know that thing because I was watching the movie about his life. Beyond the Sea is the title. Great movie with Kevin Spacey acting greatly, amazingly. So watching the movie, and I said, "Wow, what's that?" And let me tell you, war in Ukraine didn't even started yet. So, but when I heard the lyrics of the song, especially the concept of freedom, we were coming out after those 2-3 years of COVID, and you saw, that freedom. It's something that we always take it for granted, but it's not. So I had this idea. Well, this song might be a nice song, with a great social attitude. Even though it has been written for the war back in 1969, for the Vietnam War. And after 2 weeks, the war in Ukraine started out. And, especially social media, people from there. And I had a friend who's a promoter I worked with in Latvia, asking explicitly to his musician friends, guys, do something, because this is something crazy. Well, at that point, I said, okay, let's. Sadly, the lyrics of the song are still very appropriate after almost 60 years, and this is crazy because the point is it's not who's right or wrong in this crazy game. The point is that it's crazy raise a war still in 2023, 22, 21, no matter what, like 100 years ago. It means that we didn't learn from the past anything. So killing innocents, children, destroy a nation, it's crazy. So in my opinion, I'm not a political guy, but I really believe that the music, has a huge, music like a form of art. Most every other form of art has the ability to reach out anybody, everybody. It's a huge vehicle of feelings and messages. And I say, you know what, like the the world back in the days. I was maybe 13 when it came out in 1985. Say, let's do something just like this, coming from Memphis, that is still today, people see Memphis like the capital of music. Everything in terms of modern music started out here in Memphis. We're talking about the blues, soul music, rock and roll, so the black and white together, because that's especially the rock and roll that put together the different cultures. So I said, let's send a message, a beautiful message that can be nothing but can be everything. Even for 6 minutes, people can close their eyes and dream a little bit of peace, just like, songs. Every one of us, through songs has something beautiful or sad or nostalgic, whatever, emotions are emotions. So this is how I started out to work at the project, and I started out to have visions, to, of course, the musicians and then the singers, and it's a puzzle. And I say, wow, this is a huge puzzle, and you have all the pieces all together, and you start, moving the pieces, and something is wrong, something works, something work more, something not. So this is it. It took me 1 year before getting into the project, having the project done, and almost another year to have the project out.
Talk about putting the pieces together in terms of recording the song and then music video. So as you mentioned, it's a puzzle with a lot of pieces. Talk about putting the puzzle together.
Yeah. No, there are 50 musicians involved, musicians and background singers. Well, of course, I started with my bandmates and pals and friends. I say, okay, I have this song, and I was this Bobby Darin's version is mainly a folk song, except the very end of the Bobby Darin version that with the horns, that it becomes sort of Memphis sound. So that gave me the the hook to say, okay, this can be a Memphis song. So I started out with the Memphis artist, the rhythm session, and then I said, okay, that would be interesting having some horns, and I added some choruses at the very end. So, and I put the horns, and I said, why not have involving some strings, and I put the strings. And then I had the idea, because mainly Simple Song of Freedom, it's like a prayer. So I wanted to start the song putting together the American and European cultures, having Charles Hodges, the Hammond player, used to play with Al Green and Tom Jones and many other artists. So, the Hammond sound is the gospel sound, no matter what. Charles Hodge playing the Hammond, and Callan Espirian, who's an international soprano from Memphis. She worked 25 years with Pavarotti. So having the opera singing with the Hammond, with the gospel sound, you put together, and it literally the song starts like a prayer. This is why at the beginning, all the guys, what's that? It's something, it's not that common having an opera singer singing pop or folk song, but it's so good. And then I started to think about, the right lead singers, and I started to ask around. But then I got this wonderful lead singers, Larry Dodson, lead singer of the Barkeys, historic Memphis band, and then I had the fabulous Carla Thomas. So for me, having Carla Thomas, it was great. And there's a young guy. His name is Pete Molinari, British guy based in Los Angeles. He's a song, so we have different generations. And then I have a featuring of two members of the Coasters, the doo-wop band from the 50s, 60s. I got to know them. I was touring with Jason D. Williams in Boston, and we were playing at a private event, and I met them. So I was in touch with the guys. I said, hey, guys, would you like to be part of it? Yeah, sure. And they came down in Memphis. So we did everything in Memphis. And in one day, we did all the music part. In the morning, the rhythm session. At noon, we did the horns, and at the 5 p.m., we did the strings. Scott Bomber in the studio. I said, Mario, are we doing the whole thing today? I said, don't worry, we can make it. Same thing with the lead singers, because after the lead singer, once I had the lead singers, I said, you know what, it would be nice having a big choir at the very ending for the last three choruses. And I started to have that vision of the big choir. So how can I make it? 30 people maybe singing. So, and I put together three different choirs. The Stax children from Stax Academy. Then a gospel choir of the First Baptist Church on Broad. And then I involved 10 Memphis artists, singers, Amy LaVere, Will Saxton, Gary Beard. So I had these 30 people singing that chorus all together. It was wonderful. And I had Priscilla Presley. And that's another great thing, because by coincidence, I played there was a ceremony for Priscilla Presley at the theater in Memphis, just like 2 days before the session. So we were talking about the session with my friend Debney Kors, who helped me to put together the whole thing. And she was talking to Priscilla about this project, and Priscilla said, hey, I want to be part of it. Please let me be part of it. And so we had this idea, apart from being part of the choir, I say, hey, the song starts with a prayer. Why not finishing with another prayer? So Priscilla reads a statement of Mother Teresa, so which is a beautiful statement. It's a beautiful wish to the world. So I had this, it's a journey. This song, it's a journey.
The song also too gives back, and so talk about the give back element of the song.
Well, the main thing was at the beginning was for the Ukraine. So I was thinking about the St. Jude to get involved, but maybe St. Jude has a lot of stuff, and then finally because I remained stuck more than 6 months till I met Marie Pisano, and she said immediately she got my vision. I say, hey, let's do this immediately. This is a great stuff. And and Dr. Novik, she introduced me to Dr. Novik. This great guy. He's been doing a great work for Ukrainian children. So this is a part of the proceeds that will go to the Novik Cardiac Alliance. Sorry for my pronunciation. Well, my Italian accent. I cannot delete it. So this is me.
I love it, and it's to your point. The organization is the Novik Cardiac Alliance, and it's headquartered in Memphis. But as you pointed out, it's a global organization in terms of the efforts, and so the efforts and impact, which is, to me, it perfectly plays into the song and the mission and everything that you're trying to accomplish.
Absolutely, and especially now, that it's, especially after this other war, a crazy war started out. So we're trying to to move the message to a global message, because I think that nobody wants a war. And even though it started out for Ukrainian community, even Memphis had the bridge with the color of Ukraine. But now after almost 2 years, it's even worse. So having this organization behind us, beside us, it's great, because again, it's not a matter of quantity, it's a matter of quality, because it can be even $10, it can be even one verse. So it's not that can really give something to those people.
Talk about where we can go to purchase the song, listen to the song, be a part of the effort. Where can we go?
So the song is available on all digital platforms. So thank you so much to, of course, FBP3 of Marie Pisano, and our distribution is through the Selecto Hits, run by John Phillips, who's related to the Phillips family. And by the way, the song has been recorded and filmed at Sam Phillips recording studio. So it's a great thing. So the song, yes, is available on every platform right now, and we will have the video of the song unveiled on December 20th here in Memphis at the Brooks Museum at 6 p.m. Of course, everybody is invited. And yes, every donation, buying the song or donate to the Dr. Novik organization, is going to be great.
Well, once again, it's Simple Song of Freedom. So Simple Song of Freedom. Make sure everyone check it out and get involved. Mario, thank you for sharing all of the storyline behind the scenes to make the puzzle pieces come together. Greatly appreciate all you do. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you so much, Jeremy.
Higginbotham Insurance and Financial Services is proud to power the City Current Show. We're a people-first company that protects what matters most, the families, businesses, and trailblazers that keep our community going. As one of the nation's top independent insurance firms, Higginbotham is a single-source solution for business insurance, employee benefits, HR services, and personal insurance that's customized for you. We're here to serve you, the people you care about, and your community. Call 866-377-1959 or visit higginbotham.com.